First item is Senate nomination number 53, Ms. Sarah Fox of Brandon, Mississippi State Tax Appeals Board. Chairman, it's a 6-year term beginning July 1 of 2022 and ending June 30th of 2028. You have your peer report in front of you. I'll give you a second to go through it. All right, I'm going to let Ms. Fox, if you would please just introduce yourself to the committee and kind of give us a brief brief background on your position on the Tax Appeals Board, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Senator Harkins. My name is Sarah Fox, and I'm the currently serving chairman of the Mississippi Board of Tax Appeals. We hear all appeals from the Department of Revenue on taxation matters and ABC matters. We were created in 2010 under Governor Barber, and the idea was to have an independent tax tribunal consisting of people with expertise in tax to review these cases when they came out of the Department of Revenue. I think it's working really well. The businesses, as you know, it's a marker for our state, whether we have an independent tribunal apart from the taxing authority, and that's what we do. Our board has 3 members. I'm the chairman. We have a CPA, John Robinson, and then a businessman, Will Green Poindexter, and we hear cases every month and make decisions. And most of the cases are settled at our level, and so we keep them out of the chancery and higher courts. So that's what we do, and we have every kind of tax type you can imagine. Last month, we had a taxpayer that came with a less than $1,000 dispute, which was very important to him. And then we had 2 international corporations that were immediately thereafter. Tax, it can be a sales tax, it can be a corporate franchise tax, it can be apportionment cases, income tax, corporate tax, partnership tax, hotel tax, on and on and on. And we hear all of that. And so that's what we do.
All right. Thank you. Your nomination meets compliance with the qualifications. Peer did recognize that your oath of office and your bond need to be updated upon your confirmation, and that there was no derogatory information in your background. So I'll open the floor for any questions from the committee. Senator Boyd.
Like speak on her behalf at the right time.
Any other questions? Senator Boyd, you're recognized.
I would like to, I've known Sarah now for over 25 years, I think. And she has been both a personal and a professional mentor in many, many instances. And her tax work that she has done for many people, helping them across the state, has been tremendous. So I would just like to add my sincere support for her.
Okay. For a motion? Do
Advise and consent.
Okay. Motion is we do advise and consent on Senate nomination number 53. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Senate Bill number 2858. We'll recognize Senator Johnson to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 2858 is a reauthorization of the Mississippi Small Business Investment Act. This is a credit against the insurance premium tax, and it works through MDA, where private companies will sell tax credits to an insurance company that will be using these over the next few years, and then they will use those tax credits to finance small businesses with working capital or upfront capital, different than many of our other MDA grants that are more after the fact. Like if you employ so many people, you get a tax credit. This will help them get started to employ people. It's been successful for several years, and this will extend it with a $45 million allocation. And that's not all up front. It's going to be split over the course of 5 years, $10 million per year, 26 through 30, I believe it is. And $10 million, 26, 27, 28, 29, and $5 million in 2030. And that's an explanation of the bill. I have Tony here that is, he's an expert on this, and they have several companies that they've already worked with. If you would come on forward and give us a few examples of what this looks like for companies.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thank you, Senator Johnson. Tony Toops, Advantage Capital. We've been here now. This is the third reauthorization of this program. It's got a great track record. We're very proud of our role in it. We've given some handouts of some of the case studies of some of the companies that we've been able to put capital into, and shows a map and a list showing the job growth and the diversity of types of industries. And I think two examples real quick kind of exemplify what Senator Johnson was talking about, how this is catalytic capital, not incentive capital. And by that, we mean it causes behavior to happen. So for example, some of you may have heard of Ocean Aero down in Gulfport. Ocean Aero is the world's only manufacturer of autonomous sea drones that can both go on the surface and dive. They were in San Diego, California. They were looking for expansion capital. Our investment team was able to meet with them, and we told them, well, we have a great idea. We have capital available in the state of Mississippi, and we think you'd enjoy doing business here. So they picked up lock, stock, and barrel, moved to Gulfport. They're now spending $6 million on expanding a manufacturing operation. They have a current headcount of 40 workers there, earning an average of $95,000 apiece. And their plan this year is to double that headcount because the demand for the product is so strong. Most of their product goes to the Navy. Some of it goes to the ocean research institutions, and then also to oil and gas industry. But they've received approval to start selling to allied countries like the United Kingdom. And we think this is a great example. And one of the executives came recently to Jackson, made some rounds with us, and talked about how great it is to do business in Mississippi versus California, and the fact that they were able to fund expansion capital and growth capital to get it done here. Another quick example, up in Batesville, a little bit more of a bread and butter type company, but this is Lockers Manufacturing. This is a company that makes custom high-end lockers for users like the FBI Academy at Quantico, Amazon, the NFL teams. And the head of the company was in Memphis, and he was offshoring his manufacturing in China. And he wanted to onshore it, bring it into the United States. We were able to meet with him, again, told him that we had capital available in Mississippi. He found a location in Batesville. He is now up to a 48 head count and is looking to go to 62 this year. And we were able to finance the equipment he needed, high-tech equipment to prepare the flat rolled steel comes in one end of the building and goes out the other end as these high-end lockers. They need to be cut, folded, and welded. Those are just two quick examples, I think, that really exemplify this program at its best. We're very proud of the track record. I don't want to speak for MDA, but I think they will tell you there's been absolutely no issues in the last 10 years since it's been in place. And this is simply a reauthorization to go forward.
Thank you very much. Yield for questions, or if not, I have an amendment.
Any questions for your amendment?
On the amendment, on lines 87 and 89, we're going to, or we'd like to replace delete an and put a period, and then on line 89, put it and at the end of 87, and at the end of 90, take out the and put a period. And then on lines 190 through 244, do some cleanup language where it has a redundant percentage for each year. We can simplify that to make it a little bit cleaner language. It has no substantive change to the bill.
All right. You heard the amendment. Are there any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it.
Motion's title sufficient, do pass committee sub.
All right, Senator Lyman for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, I'm trying to understand this bill. You say that the money goes to, does it go MDA and then MDA then gives it to the credits to, you said insurance companies in your explanation of the bill.
So it authorizes credits for future years at so much per year, the $10 million, $2 million down to 5 on the 5th year. And those credits are authorized, but they're not issued by the state. They are a private business. And for instance, the one that Tony works for, they will look for companies to invest in, and then they work with an insurance provider to sell them the credits. So the insurance company will buy these future tax credits at a discount, and that builds the capital to fund the loans to the businesses. And so the state doesn't actually do any money now, and MDA only authorizes the tax credit by saying that this particular loan to a company checks all the boxes that it's required to by law. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, motion is title sufficient to pass committee sub. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion to rise and report. All in favor, say aye. All opposed?